Hello, hello. Oh, goodness. I got people calling me. Probably a scam. How are you guys doing? Hello. Sorry about that, guys. So tonight we are painting candy corn trio sign. So you guys can see. Super cute. We're going to be kind of doing different patterns on all three of the yellow parts of the candy corn. And let me hurry and get my chair moved up. So I hope you guys are all doing great. And then let me just double check something real quick. Sorry. I always get the candy corn, like how the color's set up. Always get it confused. Okay, so I did do it. Okay. Or, I mean, actually the orange part, the middle part. We're going to be playing with that a little bit. Okay. So, hopefully you all are doing great. Let me move down. Hey, Linda, how are you, hon? Okay, so trio sign right here. We're going to be using our yellows. We've got bright yellow, pale yellow, and then for our oranges, we're going to be using cantaloupe and pumpkin. And we'll also be using white and black. So, hope you all are doing good and fabulous. And let me flip my camera down. Oh my gosh. Is it like scam call Rachel night? Like, oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Putting that on vibrate. You did something to Achilles tendon. Oh no. Ooh, that sounds painful. I hope you get feeling better. I had a vendor event on Friday, Saturday, and it started to storm at the end, so I was running. I had one more tote left, and I was trying to get it on my wheelbarrow. I like halfway did the splits, twisted my ankle. Luckily, nothing bad like yours, but I feel you, girl. It's no joke. Okay, I'm going to start with our yellow first here. Let me put this down. Woo! We'll go with our bright yellow. I know, right? Hey, Melinda, how are you? Let me grab a brush here. I'm going to use our bigger brushes. I'm using a 3/4 angle brush since we're doing a large door hanger tonight. Alrighty. We'll get our yellow going here. And then, you guys, I did a double coat when I was doing the white, our priming coat. So I did 2 coats there on the top of our candy corns, so we don't need to do those again. Alright, just smoothing that out. I have a dog hair, or the paintbrush was shedding hairs. Either way, we got to get it out. There we go. Alright, adding our yellow here. So I just went around, did our nice trim, got nice clean edges, and then we can scribble our way through. Scribble, paint, you know the deal. Alright, I'm going to grab our edge here. I know, it always does feel like something, doesn't it? And so is life, right? I know this last vendor event, I had such high hopes for it, and I really loved the vendors there, and I had a great time just hanging out and talking with vendors and everything else. But when I mentioned talking, yes, because there it was seriously so slow, so dead. As a pop-up event at a new store, and the store is absolutely adorable, so I have hopes that it will be better. But anywho, so I'm just taking my edge right here, going clear over, just one nice little solid swipe. There we go. Cleaning up our brush there. Same thing here, we're going to take down just a little bit. We're going to stop right there. I'm going to pick up my brush and then create the other line. That's so we don't do an overstroke. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, the store is adorable. It's a little more farmhouse, country chic kind of thing. Very monotone. Kind of like Joanna Gaines. Oop, we got some soot there. We'll get that cleaned up. But anyways, yeah. It was dead. Few people came in, weird excuses of, you know, well, my husband has my card or my cash, and I'm like, then why are you in the store? And I don't mean that to be mean, but it was like, then why are you shopping? I don't know, just seemed weird. And a lot of the other vendors were saying the same thing that they had heard. So it was just funny. But anywho, that was kind of what we had to deal with for that day. But I feel like going back to it's always something. So that building was AC'd, wonderful, nice. My events that I've had that I did better were outside and hotter than you know what, and I did wonderful. So I'm like, is this my sign? Like, I don't want it to be my sign. So anyhow, I feel you guys. Alright, so we're just getting right around our edge here. I'm going right around the top of our candy corn. So this is a nice beginner type project that we're doing tonight. I'm going to add a little bit of flair and a little bit of shading, but you wouldn't have to do it. Thank you. So I'm just getting right around our edge here. Same right here. Okay, smoothing out. And whoop, I probably have way too much paint right there. There we go. Getting our little edge there. Okay, let's throw our heat gun on here. I know, praying for Linda. Praying it heals itself. Hey buddy, how are you? Your problem is you don't see well? Yep, that would definitely do it. I just realized I didn't have my overface on. Oop, wrong way. There we go. I have a hard time feeling with my feet. I broke my feet when I was pregnant with Haley, and so my feet just don't feel the same way that they're supposed to. So I get it. I am a klutz all the time. I'm just gonna do one more extra coat on the edge. I typically don't, but because this is so light and it looks like I totally forgot on this edge, I'm just gonna do one more coat here. And that's that bright yellow that we're using. All right. I'm going to clean our edge up. Okay. Let's do one more second coat here. Get a nice smooth line. Go right around our edge and then smooth out. Okay, same thing again. Nice smooth line. There we go. All right, there we go. So hopefully you guys all had a wonderful weekend. Any fun things that you guys had over this weekend? I am so looking forward to actually not having a vendor event this weekend. 3 in a row, I am good. My house needs some major TLC. When it's a going like that, it's hard to keep up with the house chores. All right, so we got that second coat down. I'm gonna go in and put down just a little bit, oops, of our pale yellow. I'm gonna grab just a little bit more of our yellow, or bright yellow. Okay. And then we're gonna ombre these, okay? So I'm just gonna pick up the pale yellow on the corner, the bright yellow. I'm gonna kind of go back and forth for just a sec, okay? And then we will do a nice ombre type shade look. Now this is a complete optional. This is if you wanted to go just a little bit more. I'm going to throw down just a little bit of medium because it is feeling a little bit dry. I'll go right here. Same thing again, we're going to go right here. Get this one. Straight across, down here, there we go. I'm just going to do a really faint right around our edge here. Okay, same here, nice faint one. You see how that kind of just makes it look a little more popped out? Okay, we're going to grab just a little bit more, so just the pale yellow up at the tip. And then we're grabbing the bright yellow at the bottom. Back and forth. Whoops, hitting bottles. I'm gonna go right through here. Okay. Right here, I'm gonna just pick up a little bit of medium. Nice smooth. There we go. Smooth that out. All right. Okay, our yellow is done. Actually, we'll hurry and scoop this up real quick. Okay. Hey Joe, how are you? Oh, maybe, there we go. That lid did not want to come off. All right. So next color that we'll be doing is our oranges. I'm going to start with our pumpkin first. Hey Dawn, how are you, sweetheart? I wonder how much I'm going to actually get out of this, but we'll use it for a little bit. I might have to grab my other bottle, which I did put out here. All right, and clean my brush. So I'm still sticking with that 3/8 inch. And we'll go into our orange next. Nice smooth line here. There we go. We're going to take our edge and bring it over. There we go. Coming back in. There we go. Okay. So we'll smooth out as we go. Same thing here. Smooth this out. There we go. All right. Grab right here. Okay. Go right here. Clean this up, and then we'll smooth. Oranges and yellows do usually require a second coat, so we'll probably have to come back in. Actually, I know we will. We'll do that second coat, and then we can start doing cute little patterns on our centers. All right, so this guy, we're gonna go right here. All right, nice and smooth, there we go. Get our edge here. I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to take my edge of my brush and get that line there. Nice and smooth. All right. There we go. And then we'll get our edge here while we're here. Just paint my edge. This one too. Maybe. There we go. Oops, sorry. You guys aren't seeing that. So we'll get this edge. Okay. There we go. All right. Maybe, there we go. Nice and smooth. Just a little more. All right. There we go. All right, let's get some more orange here. candy corn here. So nice smooth edge. So I'm just taking my edge of my brush, placing it down, and then gently moving, stopping at the edge just before the edge, replacing my brush, and then pulling forward. That's what keeps those clean lines for you, okay? Alright. And I felt a little bit of drag with my brush stroke right towards the end. Right, I didn't get a smooth line, so I'm just going right back in and cleaning that up. Right there in the middle. I'll go right here and get this guy. Okay, my brush started to drag just a little bit. More time here. There we go. There we go. Let me get my edge here while I'm thinking about it. Alright, so now just smoothing that out. So today is the first official day that my husband is not working 2 jobs. So it has been kind of a hectic month for us. I cannot believe that July is already over. We're in August. It's crazy to me. I remember sitting the girls' appointments for back to school for their doctor, thinking, oh my gosh, August 10th, it's gonna be forever. And here it is this week. Can't believe it. I'm gonna just set that there. We'll get what we can out of here. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna come back over here. He is officially not at Lowe's anymore. He started with Hanes Company. So, you know, like Hanes t-shirts. Champion is also underneath them. You know, the bras. I think like Playtex is under there. I don't know. Yep, all of them. That's what he's doing. So no longer, as of today, well, actually as of Friday, but he had coworkers kind of still calling him, you know, a little bit throughout the weekend. He was kind of helping him a little bit. So, yep, no more. Yeah, it's kind of a bittersweet thing for him, but I think, you know, things are meant to be where they are, and I truly believe that, you know, we're supposed to go with Hanes, so that's where we are, and luckily no moving, hallelujah, because I told him we ain't moving unless it's absolute necessity. So that's where we're at. So just doing this second coat, you guys. I really didn't want to open a bottle just for what little amount we needed here. So I'm like scraping. I am the person that will even cut open bottles. I know, I'm pathetic. Alright. Okay. So we got that second coat on those. So darn cute. I know, I love candy corns. I'm not like a big candy corn eater, but I love it for Halloween. But it just goes with my whimsy personality, right? I love the whimsical candy. child fun. I don't know. That's what I like. Kind of my thing. Me too. I was like, unless it's, you know, closer to Dawn or somebody I know, no. So, yes, more than happy. I was like, did I not paint over here? But I did. Okay. We are gonna call that good. You see, you guys can see it's painted, but it's looking a little drab. So I'm just gonna kind of clean off what my brush has there. There we go. Okay, that is done. And I will throw this bad boy in the garbage can. All right, so now what I'm gonna be using is cantaloupe. And, okay. Woo! Paint just wanted to pour out of there. All right. Let me double check what I was doing. Okay. All righty. Let me switch to a smaller brush. Well, actually, this side's still a little wet, so we'll work with this one. Since this one, we just need our dauber for, so I'm going to teach you guys dauber again tonight. So I like to get mine just a little bit wet. How big is the candy corn size? I want to say this one's an 18. I might have done 20. Hold on, Dawn, I can tell you. Let me hurry and grab. Where is that? Tape measure go? I just got it. Maybe I can't tell you. Here, we'll use the cloth one. Why? Because this one was sticking out. Let's see here. From, whoops, top to bottom, 18. Yep, it's an 18 incher. I couldn't remember which one I did. Okay, so dauber, we're gonna grab a little bit of our orange here. I'm going to spin just a little bit. I kind of get a little on my brush, kind of flounce down a few times so you can kind of see. We'll do a nice little swipe just to make sure we've got a good amount on. And then we're gonna twist and then lift up, okay? Try that one more time. The center just didn't quite get how I wanted it. Perfect. And then how I try to do my polka dots is I try and kind of envision little triangles. Okay, and I like to get them off of the edge. It just helps with keeping your pattern going. And then I also love using Post-its, okay? And this is why I like using Post-its. So we're gonna put that here. We're gonna go right over here and get this. And then, hey, Susan or Susa. Yes, Dawn, these ones are in the shop. Yep, I believe I have blanks in there. If it doesn't have the blank size, just let me know and I'll hurry and go in and update it for you. Okay, so we're gonna twist, lift up. One more time, twist, lift up. I think we're gonna need one right there. We'll go back over. And I believe I messed up on the candy corn color on that one, so it needs an update, but it will look like this one, I promise, if you want it painted. Okay, and then we're gonna go right here. I used to always get my candy corns messed up because in my brain, I think the yellow needs to be in the center and the orange at the bottom. Yet that's not the case with candy corns. All right, let's go right about here. We'll get this one. Yes, Teresa. It kind of happened really quick. We got recruited again. And Brian finally gets his manager title that he's been working so hard to get. And so he went to work for Haynes Company. We accepted the offer 1st of July, and through a series of events, we did not think that Lowe's was going to give him a 2-week, let him do 2 weeks. Most of the time companies don't. This time in particular they did. So he's been working for both companies. So that's kind of what's been going on in our crazy little life. All right, this brush I'm using is going to be a 1/2 inch angle brush. So, let's see here. We're gonna go with this guy next, and I'm going to be doing straight across patterns, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm just laying down the lines for it, and then we'll come back in and do a prettier line. All right. Yeah, there was a lot of change with Lowe's. Just trying to not bash them, but because they are a good company, it's just there was a lot of change in Brian's department, and it didn't feel like they wanted him to grow with them. So we're staying in the same position kind of thing, even though he was doing a different job, just not getting paid for it. So that's how it was. Haynes Company. So like Haynes the t-shirt, they also have like Champion and that kind of stuff too. Yeah, they're based out of Winston-Salem, which isn't too far from us. It's like 45 minutes, but he is considered a remote worker. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 2 fingers, and then we'll go right about there for our measurement. Yeah, his immediate director was let go of. He had been working with Lowe's for 17 years, and they hired a new VP, and it just wasn't the same after that. So a lot of employees were in his department were really nervous about what was going on. So Brian kind of updated his LinkedIn, and before we knew it, we were getting calls. So we had a call from Belk Clothing Company, and I was just a little bit nervous about them. And then Haynes. And then, like I said, Haynes kind of did an offer we couldn't refuse, plus gave him the title that he's been really working for. So it was a win-win. And you guys, their health insurance, oh, so awesome. Lowe's health insurance was not good. Probably one of the worst that we've ever had. I'd actually say the worst. So, anyhow. Alright, so we're just doing our stripes here. We're gonna go 2 fingers, and then we're gonna go right there. Okay, and I'm just gonna grab my paintbrush here. And this is completely optional. You could have stopped at just doing the colors and been done, but you know me. Gotta make life hard. A little more fun, right? Alright. Let's go again right here. We're gonna put 2 fingers. Go about right here, okay? I could feel myself getting some paint on my fingers. I'm like, no. All right. So right here. So life has been a little chaotic. All right. Okay, one more time. Let me grab right here real quick. Okay, we got that. Let me grab a little bit more orange here. This is the cantaloupe, sorry. Cantaloupe orange. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry for just a minute before I do the cross ones of it. And I'm just gonna kind of come back in real quickly here and kind of clean up these polka dots just a little. The penciler did a good job, but I can see just a little bit in the middle where it didn't quite get a good enough coverage for me. So we're just gonna come right in here, clean that up. So just kind of doing little half circles really helps with keeping your circle nice and pretty. Okay. Probably going down to a smaller brush to do this would have helped too. But we all know me. I hate doing the smaller brushes. I hate switching brushes. Okay. There we go. One more right here. There we go. Oh, I don't think I got this one. There we go. Okay. Well, now we'll come back and I'm going to do our line across. Just like so. Clean this up just a little. All right. And then, by the way, hi Teresa, didn't see ya, and hey Johnny. He started his new job just after my birthday. He started, so the 18th, I believe. Hey Sherry, how are you? Okay, so 2 fingers-ish. Okay, we're gonna go about right there. Right across. Yeah, we had a lot going on. July felt like I said, it felt like a whirlwind. Then with doing the events, crazy train in my life. All right, there we go. All right. Cleaning that up. Okay. And then I'm going to go about right here. We're going to go about right there. Okay. And then just to measure correctly, yeah, pretty much this whole little area right here. We're just going to paint this cantaloupe. Okay. So I'm just kind of using the edge, not really letting my brush flow down too much to make sure that we don't get too much of an overpaint there. And now you can see we got that one. And then I think the bottom one I left plain on the last one, but what do you think? Should we leave it plain or let it go? Do something cute. I'm trying to think of another fun pattern we can do. Just saw a little bit there. What do you guys think? Let's throw that in there. Should we leave it plain? We'll see. We'll go on to the black. Actually, I already have black poured. Where? Oh, there's my honeycomb. Adorable. Thank you. Alright, I am going to be using a little bit thicker of a liner brush. I'm using a 3/0 spotter or liner brush, just depending on what company you're using. Okay. You like it plain? That's what I was kind of thinking. Alright. So, let's get our inside part first painted. And then since right here is already drier than the rest because we haven't really done much over on this side, we'll paint this side first. Okay. So go right around here. So how many of you guys are going to be doing the retreat? You guys coming to Lori's retreat? I am like smacking bottles over here. I'm so excited she's doing the business part. That sounds fun. So how I like to get my paint to be so smooth with my liner brush is I do add just a little bit of water. I know you guys didn't see me do this time. I add a little bit of water and that helps it kind of run a little bit smoother too. So you don't have the brush drag. I honestly probably could put some water in here because it's been a while since I watered it down. Okay. All right. So we got that guy. And then I'm going to go right here and get our center right here. I'll get our center here. Grab just a little bit more. There we go. Grab here. I'll go right around, maybe. Got a little bit of drag. Okay. Do a little ziggy zag. Right here. Kind of curve that in. There we go. We'll go over here, get this guy. Maybe if I don't fall off the edge there with my paintbrush. You'd think I was drunk painting. Which I swear I'm not. Okay. Let's go. We'll do this part too while I'm at it. There we go. Hey Sherry, how are ya? Oh, Dawn's saying hi Sherry. I thought there was another Sherry there for a minute. I'm like, I already said hi to Sherry. Whoops. I'm losing it, you guys. There we go. We're gonna do a little zigzag here. I'll meet that guy up right there. And we'll do right around our edge. Here we go. And black is done. Let's add some highlight and then we'll get some glitter going, because you know how much I love my glitter. Okay, so I'm going to start over here because the paint's going to be less likely to be wet and cause a mess. So we'll go right here. I'm going to go straight down. Go right there. Right like that. Do a cute little zig. Like that. Okay. Come back down there. Right there. Okay. I'm trying to watch out for getting paint here. Grab right here. Go right here. Got a little bit of paint towards the end, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. However, right here, I'm going to have to hit with the heat gun for just 1 second. So we can get our cute little zigzag here. There we go. We'll go right here. There we go. All right. Ooh. Let's get some glitter going. Oh, I forgot. I paint rolled these little guys, but my teas, I noticed, didn't take the paint real well. So I'm gonna just hit this one more time with some black real quick since I have it out. There we go. Those look good. I had painted a little bit of white on my board when I cut these words out, and a little bit of the white had gotten over on these, and so it was like the paint didn't want to take over it. But I just rolled these with a foam roller. That's why they're already painted. Okay, let me move that over. Let's get some glitter. I got my glitter paper right here. We'll do some white glitter. Okay. So I've just got the ultra fine iridescent crystal diamond. This is from Walmart. And Miss Johnny, how large the sign is, it is an 18-inch. Let's grab our Mod. Oh my gosh, me and that median. We do not want to be friends today. I think I've knocked it down more than I've kept it up. All right. Grab this brush. This one's beat up just a little. And we'll grab our glitter. Okay. All right. Yeah, I figured I would do a bigger one for you guys tonight. All right. Glitter, glitter, glitter. Okay. Let me take that, shake that off. Keep going. Look how cute that is. Okay, we'll go here next. Go right here. With our smudge. All right, let me smooth that out. Glitter. Okay. There we go, pretty. And our last one. Go right here. Trying to be careful, I can see a little bit of a wet spot right there. With the black right in that corner. Okay. Thought I saw a glare there. It didn't have any much, but I guess I got it covered. Alright. Throw our glitter on here. And me too. Thank you, Dawn. Alright. So you can see that pretty. So from edge to tip, 18 inches. I didn't know if I had a 20, but it was 18. Okay. This is one that I wanted to get done for the show, but just didn't. So you guys get to watch me paint it. All right. Let me throw that over here. We'll throw the lid on, because you all know I would probably knock it over and spill it everywhere. Let's throw our Mod back in here. Okay. And let's glue this up. So I have been loving this glue. It's Stick Fast CA Thick. It's a little bit difficult sometimes to get a hold of. They do have it right now on Amazon again. It is a little bit more pricey for a bottle, but the ounces wise, you get a lot of ounces. You get 4.5 ounces and it's like $15 for the bottle, but I mean those small little Gorilla Glues that I get, they're like $5, $6 and a lot smaller of ounces. So thank you, sweetie. And this stuff is awesome. It is like super glue, I will warn you. It does take a little bit more. It's not quite as fast as the Gorilla Glue for the adhesion, but it is pretty dang fast. So I'm just gonna load that on there. So sometimes with the glitter, when it's usually I'm gluing over glitter, sometimes I'll, you know, kind of rough it up to get it, where with this one, I'm probably just not going to. I think we'll get a good enough one where the glues are both kind of still a little bit tacky. So we'll just go right here. Once I get away from the glitter part, I'll probably just start adding the glue onto the sign. So one of the things that I do with my etches is I have an etch line already set for where the letters are supposed to be. So that kind of helps me line it up a little bit better. And then you can go directly to the sign to add it, because you can see where your etch line is. It's very, very faint. It's not very deep in, but it's enough that you can still kind of see it. And you know what? I put that upside down. There we go. Much better there. Okay. Let's put our others on here. So that is one reason why I do the little etch line with my letters. And another is if you wanted to write your letters, you would do the same. Yes, I can put the letters with the signed on. Oh, thank goodness, Lillian. Praise the Lord that she was found. That is so awesome. So I'm assuming safe and found, right? All right, let's get those. All right, let me grab this one. This one, since we're gluing into glitter, I will go ahead and glue this one up here. That is so awesome. I am so happy, Lillian. That is so awesome. She has definitely, your family has definitely been in my prayers and thoughts. Okay, curling our R here. We all knew what you meant, Susan. Yes. How scary for your family. That's all I could think of. Is just what a nightmare. All right, you guys, I am just putting this down. Okay, still in the glitter here. I have so many questions, but I'm sure you'll let us know in time, right? I want to respect what's going on with your family. Okay, one more glitter spot. And then we can start glittering on, or gluing onto the sign, which is honestly my preferred method. Okay, I'm just going to fold this down, grab the rest of our glue here. I didn't realize what Brenda was on. Was Brenda live on group or just live on her page? I'm excited that she is now one of our designers. I'm sure processing it is going to take some time for sure. Just praise Jesus, she's okay. Oh, she was in the group. Okay. Oh, till mid-September. Oh, okay, Dawn. I haven't even honestly paid attention to the calendar at all. It has been so chaotic. I should have never done so many events. Craziness. Okay, let me put you guys overhead, face camera, so you can see it. Ain't that cute? And then with the 3D, you can kind of see the words there. I know, I love it. And then we can see our little glitter. Ain't that fun? After Labor Day? Oh, okay, perfect. Alrighty. Isn't that fun? I'm so excited. Thank you. An oldie but a goodie. I guess it's not too old. I just started making it late last year, so that's awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. I'll throw this up again. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow for cricket class at 7 o'clock. Zoom. I can't remember the number, but anywho, see you guys then. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. You all have a wonderful night. God bless. Love you, Lillian. I'm so happy. Praise Jesus. And I'll have a wonderful week if I don't see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.